Hey guys, Sharpend here. In this video I'm going to show you how to make a white noise 808 that sounds something like this. So in this video I'm going to show you how to create this 808 sound in both Massive X and Serum. The process is fairly simple. The first thing you want to do is to load up a sine wave. And then you want to pitch it down 2 octaves so that you get this sound. Then the next thing you want to do is to add a click to our attack. So we're going to do that by modulating the pitch of our oscillator. We're going to pitch it up by around 20 semitones and then bring it back down really fast. So that way we get a clicky sound. Something like this, and you can mess with the shape to make it even snappier and clickier. Something like this sounds good to me. And then you want to add just a tiny bit of white noise, just the tiniest bit where you can't even really hear it, because we're going to be adding some external distortion that is going to bring it back by quite a bit. So what you need to do next is to route your 808 synth into a mixer track and just start loading up distortion plugins. So I've used Camel Crusher on the British Clean preset. Here's how it sounds. And then I've added the Rev Plate 140 by Arturia. It's a reverb plugin, but I'm only using it for the dry function, so it's on dry, it doesn't add any reverb, it just distorts it even more. And then I've also added some Wave Shaper that just adds a tiny bit of tension and wave shaping. So altogether you get a pretty distorted signal. And then you can just play with the volume. So if you increase the volume of Massive X, you're going to get a more distorted signal. And it's up to your personal taste. And if you reduce the volume, you get a slightly less distorted signal. And that is also why I mentioned adding just a tiny bit of white noise, because if you add too much, it gets obnoxious. So just add a tiny bit. And now we're going to do the same thing in Serum. So we're going to need a sine wave. But the thing is that in Massive X, the sine waves also have some additional harmonics, while in Serum they don't. So I'm going to add these harmonics in Serum as well. Something like this. Just really a tiny bit of harmonics. Something like this. So now we're going to pitch it down 2 octaves. We're going to use an envelope to pitch it up really fast and then back down by removing the sustain, setting the decay to be pretty short and making it curvier like this. Something like this sounds good to me. And then we're adding some white noise, a tiny bit. And let's bring back our distortion plugins. Something like this sounds pretty similar to our patch in Massive X. And the thing is, most 808 patches usually have no sustain and have some decay. But in this patch, I really don't recommend it, because this means that you're feeding less and less volume through the same distortion plugin. So it's going to affect the timbre of our 808. So here's an example. Here's the 808 with sustain. And here's the 808 with no sustain and some decay. As you can hear, the timbre changes over time. That's because we're feeding less and less volume over time. So if you want your 808s to still have some decay and not just sustain forever, my recommendation is to just go to Edison and just play a note. Something like this. And then just create your own volume envelope, and then you can use it as a decaying 808 that has the same timbre throughout the decay. So let's do that. Here we have it. Right now it's just a long sustained 808. And then we can add, using a sampler, our own decay envelope. So that way it will still retain the same timbre throughout the decay. And now one more thing that I wanted to show you with these 808s is how you can use sidechain to your advantage. So in this example, I've been using the fruity limiter to just sidechain my 808 to a kick drum. So here's the kick. And once you add the 808s with the sidechain, you get a much more moving sound. So without the sidechain, it would sound like this. So right now you can hear every attack of the 808. It sounds really clicky and it's very noticeable in the mix. And once you add the sidechain, you get this. So basically the sidechain just removes the initial attack of your 808 and allows the kick to be the initial attack, which sounds a lot better in my opinion. Once you combine the kick with the 808, you get a nice distorted, very strong bass signal instead. And that is pretty much it. If you found this tutorial helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below what subject do you want me to cover up next time.